Golf has been around for decades at this point, and every year manufacturers come out with brand new clubs, whether it's drivers, fairway woods, wedges, putters, or irons. Every year there are new clubs being released. But in the decades that golf has been around, how much have these clubs really changed? Well, I kind of wanted to figure that out. So today I'm going to be looking at iron sets from 5 different decades, starting with the 80s, then the 90s, the 2000s, 2010s, and 2020s. So let's find out whether golf clubs, specifically irons, have changed in that period of time. Now we're going to be looking at 5 different aspects when it comes to each of these irons and giving them a score from 1 to 10. And the 5 different areas we're going to be looking at are looks and feel. We're going to be looking at distance, forgiveness, workability, and last but not least, price. Like I said, we're going to be looking at 5 different iron sets from 5 different time periods. We're going to be looking at these Ben Hogan blades. These are the Director blades from the 1980s. We're also going to be looking at these Titleist. These are the DCI 962 irons. These came out in the 1990s. We're going to be looking at these are the Wilson Staff PI5 irons. Then from the 2010s, we're going to be looking at the Callaway X Forged irons, the 2018 models specifically. And then from this 2020 time period, we're going to be looking at the TaylorMade P7 CB irons. Now, all of these irons are more player-oriented irons, so they're directed towards the better golfer. I would not consider myself a good golfer. In fact, I've only been playing for a short while compared to many of you watching this probably. But I still wanted to see which ones offer the most forgiveness, especially in this time period where forgiveness is one of the most heavily marketed items on the golf market right now. Can you actually play a blade from the 80s, or is it beneficial to play something a little bit more modern with more technology built in? We're going to be looking at not only the aesthetics of these irons, but also the performance on course to see and find out if it is okay to play irons that may be a little bit old, or do you need to have the latest and greatest to have your golf game be the best that it can be. All right, let's get started off with the first aspect, and that is looks. Starting off with the Ben Hogan Director irons. Now, these are as bladed as blades can get. They are very intimidating, especially when you look at them from the top line with the club behind the ball. The top line of these clubs is basically a knife. They are so thin, they are so small. You have to feel like you have to strike the ball perfectly out of the center in order for the ball to do what you want it to do, or for the club not to destroy your hands. Next, the DCI irons. These are the 962 irons. They are definitely still small players irons. However, they're not nearly as small or as bladed as the Ben Hogans. These are more cavity back, I guess you could kind of say. There's not really a cavity, but there are more mass distributed in the heel and the toe of this club. So it does make it a little bit easier on your hands when you strike it a little bit out of the toe or the heel. I do think the look is a little bit outdated, especially with the big DCI logo with the triangle on the back. It does look a little weird in today's era, but I think the shaping of the club is very good. I do like the way it looks down at address. The offset isn't too bad, isn't very noticeable, not something you feel like you're going to be hooking all of your shots. They still feel very good, and I don't have any complaints. Moving on to the Wilsons, I think these are by far the most unknown and underrated clubs out of the bunch that we have here today. These are the Wilson Staff PI5 irons. They are very, very good, especially for the age of the club and the price that you can get them at, which we'll talk about later on. These, I think, so far out of the three that we've talked about already are the most forgiving out of the grouping. They definitely have the biggest footprint. The blade is a little bit longer from the heel to the toe, and it is a little bit thicker of a top line. So if you don't love the look of that maybe a little bit chunkier top line, then these might not be the clubs for you. These are very solid irons. They feel exceptional, especially for a cast club. As far as the looks of the back of the club, the Wilson Staff shield logo here is very iconic, and you have a little bit of what looks like carbon fiber next to it with the PI5 logo. I do think it looks a little bit outdated, definitely something from the 2000s era. I don't think they look terrible, but they are going to look old and a little bit outdated in somebody's bag. Then we have the Callaway X-Forge. These are the 2018 models. I do love the way that these look, especially just looking at them from, when you're looking at your bag, having them in there. I do like the way the X-Forge logo looks. However, the thing that does kind of drive me crazy, and I've noticed this a lot about Callaway clubs in general, is there is a significant amount of offset when the club is down behind the ball, and I don't love that. However, top line of this club is not bad at all. It isn't the thinnest I've seen in the world, but it also isn't very chunky, and I think they look very good. They do feel good. They just sound a little bit clicky. So if you don't mind, if you don't care really if they sound a little bit clickier than maybe some other clubs, and you can deal with the offset, I think they are great looking clubs. And last but not least, we have the newest club in the lineup, and this is the TaylorMade P7 CB. These came out in 2024, so 2 years ago. These are beautiful clubs. They really are. They're not cast, they are forged irons. These clubs are super soft, not only when you strike them out the middle, but they still feel very good and very soft, even on slight toe or heel strikes. Looking down at the club behind the ball, very little offset. Looking at this behind the ball, they do look amazing, and I don't have any worries when it comes to confidence or not feeling like I can strike the ball well with this club. Out of these clubs, these are definitely by far the best. Okay, now we're going to do some on-course testing. We're about 170 yards away from the hole. We're here at Green Ridge Golf Club in New York. So we're going to hit 7 irons, 1 per each club, and see how good they perform. It's a little wet out here, so well, that was a very bad shot with the P7 CB. Now let's go with the Callaway Apex. That was a better strike. We've got the Wilson Staff PI5. That was good. Went a little right, but went the right distance. Okay, now we got Titleist DCI. Just aiming a little right. And it hit the tree and went super short. This is definitely the scariest of them all. This is the Ben Hogan Director blade. Again, I'm just aiming right. Hit about 17 trees on the way down. But I think the best shot with all of them was the Callaway. However, none of them were particularly good. Well, we managed to hit a grand total of 0 of those on the green, and I think it's more of a player thing than a golf club thing at this point. I will say though, the X Forged and the P7 CBs went the straightest out of the 5 sets. The other 3, they all curved significantly more right. Again, probably just a swing issue. In the end, the P7 CBs and the Callaway X Forged ended up in a spot that would be significantly easier to get up and down for par than the other 3, which ended up in the trees. So we're gonna head over to another hole where we can try maybe a shorter approach in with the 9 irons. Okay, so we are here on a shorter par 4. We're gonna be teeing off with the 5 irons, or the 5 iron equivalent. For the older clubs, they're gonna be using 4 irons. So let's see how we get along. This is the P7 CB. Well, it went straight. It was definitely off the toe. Hopefully it's fine over there. The fairway does kind of run out, so we're trying to hit it a little bit more left of that. However, it felt good, especially for being a toe hit. We're gonna aim a little bit more right, maybe try to hit a little fade with the Callaway X Forged. Oh, and felt good. Got good distance. It should open up over there. Wilson Staff PI 5s. Try to do something similar. That was a good one. Should be perfectly in the middle of the fairway. That one definitely, I think, out of all of them, is impressing me the most. Now we got the DCI. Definitely skinny, had more movement than the other ones, but didn't hear anything hit the tree, so that's good. Now we got the Ben Hogan blades. This is also a 4 iron. Oh. I'm most skinny out of all of them, but should be in a decent spot. Let's go see where they ended up. So the P7 CB ball went perfectly straight off the tee, ended up right here, right in front of the out of bounds line, and you can see we'd have a pretty difficult second shot into the green, which is right there. And then we do have a couple of other balls that ended up in the fairway, so we'll go look and see how close those are. So we have 2 balls that landed pretty close to each other. This was the Callaway X Forged, and then up here we had the DCI irons. And then the other 2, the Wilson Staff and the Ben Hogan blades, are somewhere in here. I might try to go look for them. Okay, I've been searching in this little wooded area for a couple of minutes now, and I cannot find the other 2 balls. So again, they were struck decently. They just curved a little bit more than I would have liked, but I guess what do you expect from more players oriented irons? All right, so we got about 145 yards in. So these should be just light 9 irons. They should be pretty straightforward. I mean, we don't got too many trees in our way, and these are the scoring irons, so you definitely want to be precise when it comes to these. Of course, as normal, we have the 8 irons for the Ben Hogans and the DCI because of the strength of the lofts compared to the newer sets. So let's see if we can put any of these close, or even just get on the green at this point. It would be nice. It was a good strike. It just went way left. Well, it landed exactly where we wanted to. It landed pin high. However, not necessarily the direction we wanted to hit it in. So now we got the Callaway X Forged. That one drew instead of cut, so I think that's kind of why it fell to the left. Let's see if we can actually get this one either straight or falling right. How about neither? Well, it's going right, but it started way right. Again, pin high, and that was very thin. So we will take that. Next we got the Wilson PI5 irons. Let's see. There we go, that should be good. Hopefully not too long. Oh wow. Okay, it held the green, so that's good. The landing angle was very nice on that one. Tiny bit long, but yeah, it went where we wanted to. Kind of let the club release a little bit. Perfect ball flight. You love to see it, especially with an iron that old and that cheap. Okay, now we got the DCI irons. Oh, started right. Falling way right. Wow. I didn't even see where that one went. It felt like a good hit. Just went significantly right on me. And if you're curious what ball I'm using, I'm playing the Vice and the Vice Pro Plus balls. Well, if the worm is still in the ball after that, very impressive. Again, landed pin high. I'm just aiming right, I think, but they all felt fantastic. They're all well-struck shots, even if I can't aim properly. But yeah, after all those, the Wilson is the best when it comes to where it landed. Okay, looking at where the balls landed, this is the first shot with the P7CBs. It landed, hit this side hill, kicked left. We are pretty much just a little past pin high, so if I just could aim better, that would have been pretty much a perfect distance of a shot. This is the PI iron, the Wilson, landed on the green. We probably have about 40 feet, I'd say, to the hole. But yeah, can we see where it landed? Landed right here and rolled out just a tiny bit, maybe 10 feet. Not too bad. And then we have our other iron shots that all kind of sprayed everywhere. I mean, they're very consistently in this right rough. So this is the Callaway X Forge right here. No, this is not the Callaway. This is the Ben Hogan blade, because it's the Kirkland brand ball. So a little bit long, a little bit right. Again, those blades are very easy to move the ball. Then this is the Callaway X Forged, pin high, just slightly right. Not too bad of a finish. Of course, you want to see that a little bit closer, but that's me again. That's not the club's fault. And then up here we have the DCI. So definitely the one that sprayed out most to the right. Felt great. I think the DCI is the only shaft that's a regular flex. So it might be a little bit harder for me to time up and kind of control my dispersion. But again, it finished pin high. So they all went the same way that we wanted them to. In total, these are all very good options. Of course, if you can't strike the ball well or play golf at a very high level, none of these are really going to, make you the best golfer in the world. But for the price, I'm going to say the Wilsons are really standing out to me. I think the P7CBs still feel the best, but now when it comes to the price of these iron sets, they are all in slightly different price points, as you would expect with different clubs throughout the years. The Ben Hogan Director irons are going to be the cheapest. You can find them on eBay anywhere from $80 to $100. Of course, there are not a ton of listings out there, but you can find them. The DCI irons, you're going to be able to find anywhere from $80 to $150, depending on the condition and the shaft that are in there. I think I paid about $85 for mine that I found at a local golf shop here in New York. The Wilson Staff PI5 irons are one of those iron sets that are a little bit more elusive. You're not going to find a ton of them on the market. I bought mine from Second Swing Golf for about $130, but there are a couple of sets on eBay that I found for around the $150 mark. Now, the Callaway X-Forged irons. These are a little bit easier to find than the previous three just because they are newer. However, they are more expensive than the previous three combined, actually. You're going to find these anywhere from $250 to upwards of $400. I paid closer to the $250 for mine. I found them at a Play It Again Sports in my local area, but you are going to find them online for a little bit more expensive, especially if you have to pay for shipping. Now, by far the most expensive iron on our list is the TaylorMade P7 CBs, and it makes sense that they're the most expensive, right? They are definitely the newest out of all of them. They have the most technology, they have the most R&D going into them, and in my opinion, they are the best irons out of this entire list. You can still buy them new. You can still buy them from TaylorMade, and they're going for $1,300 to $1,400, so that's a lot of money right there. But you can find used sets on eBay, Second Swing, or wherever else your local golf store for probably around $600 on the low end to $850 to $900 on the high end. So they are quite expensive. You can buy the 4 other sets of irons for the price of the TaylorMade P7 CBs, but in my opinion, I think you're paying for performance. You're going to buy irons that last a very long time, that look better than anything I've seen in a very long time, perform very, very well, and just kind of all around are the complete package. Plus, you have the added benefit of them being newer, so you have more options when it comes to shafts. There are, from the factory, more options that you can pick for your shaft. Therefore, out on the market, you're going to have more options when it comes to shaft, whether it's flex or even profile. They have dynamic gold shafts. I'm playing the Project X, as you saw earlier. You're just going to be able to personalize these clubs to your swing, to your preferences a little bit easier because they are newer and because they have more options with them. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. I really had a great time filming all of this for you. If you want to see more videos similar to this or some other style content, please let me know down in the comments below. Again, my name is Kai, and I thank you so much again for watching, and I hope you have a great rest of your day.